The Prime Minister has made it clear she will fight to keep RNZ Concert on an FM frequency. Jacinda Ardern has expressed frustration at RNZ pushing ahead with announcing proposed changes to its concert radio station when the government had asked for time to discuss alternatives. Earlier this afternoon, she told reporters that as the Arts and Culture Minister, she wanted to improve access to the arts.
I've made it very clear that I am determined that we are not going to lose RNZ Concert on FM. Cabinet today decided to look at what would be involved in ensuring that is the case. From here, our expectation is that a Cabinet paper will be prepared which lays out what would be involved in freeing up the 102 FM frequency. That spectrum has been shelved for the last 20 years for the purpose of providing youth-targeted programming, something that many in this arena will be familiar with since 1999. In the meantime, we believe Radio New Zealand has New Zealand On Air funding obligations to continue programming until June, and we intend to use the time available to work constructively to find a solution. Our initial advice has been that they contractually are obliged to continue to provide that service. That's the advice that we've received. So our view is that gives us some time to work constructively together. I don't believe that they would wish to lose an audience who feels so passionately about that service, and we think there's a way through where they can both grow their audience for younger listeners whilst retaining their existing one. Some of these decisions are happening within the context of Radio New Zealand having seen a boost in their funding, roughly in the order of $10 million. I will flag that that was much needed in our view, that they hadn't received the funding required to keep pace with the obligations on them as a public broadcaster, that they see the need to broaden out who they're reaching as part of their public broadcasting mandate. But some of the strength of feeling I'm hearing at the moment is access, which does very much come back to the issue of the frequency. Some of those other matters, they tell us that they are very genuine in the fact that it is a consultation. And so I'm sure they'll be listening to the views of those who are amongst their listenership currently when it comes to other programming matters. It would not be appropriate for us to interfere in programming decisions, and keeping in mind, of course, that exists for good reason. It would be totally inappropriate for the government of the day to take a position on the editorial line of Radio New Zealand. But the decision here that's being made around removal of a service from frequency, I think it steps into a very different realm around the structure of Radio New Zealand and goes to the heart of another issue that 20 years ago we were looking to resolve around freeing up frequency for youth radio. So I see that as more of a structural issue than simply an operational one, and one that actually we may be able to help them resolve. And I would have thought, and I believe, that RNZ probably would welcome that. This has got nothing to do with the opinions of people who past, former or present, I should add, although I can tell you there's some very strong views from the present members of the government as well. I'm the Minister for Arts, and so this for me comes to the heart of my portfolio. And when I came in, one of the things that I very clearly set out as a goal of our administration, our time in government, was that we increase people's access to the arts. And by that, I mean reaching more people in more parts of the country, of more age demographics, and in a way where we remove barriers, which of course often include cost. So this comes to the heart of what I consider to be at the core of what we need to achieve in the arts portfolio.
And that's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern talking about the future of Concert FM.